cross this new divide. I played, it can't be right, but it is. I played 20 over the board chess battles this month in 1 week, basically. Overdid it. I was locked in. I've got a pretty good feel for when I'm about to tank, too. And I was still feeling really good. But a few events happened that deflated me, and my exhaustion set in. I've just played too much. Even if I was younger, hey, get dunked there. How are you? Hey, Furious Junker, you're driving from St. Louis to Kansas City. That's the wrong way. You go from Kansas City here, and you didn't say hi to me? You're in St. Louis? You know, that's where I'm at. Get dunked there is Turkish, so unless you want to plan a visit, I'll wait for you at the airport with a sign. Get dunked there. Just kidding. Ice, ice, ice. I wasted my all-time. Okay, let me do this introduction. I'm going to kill this introduction real quick, and we'll chat. So, too many battles, but I don't care. Because I saw a lot of pieces move. I saw a lot of positions. I worked with the Grandmaster a little bit, though I'm to the point now where it's almost as good if I just listen in on the Grandmaster in residence doing a lecture or analyzing other people's battles. I know how to analyze mine, and I know how to win games at my level. Not to say I wouldn't prefer to have a Grandmaster in my pocket and take him or her with me everywhere I go. But considering I usually need to get out of the club so I can pick my dog up from daycare, I want to make the disc golf course before sun goes down, etc. You know, if the Grandmaster in residence is busy, there's a line, I'm not going to wait in it. So too many games, which brought my rating back down a little bit. I got up close to 1670. Now I'll be 1620 or so. But I will have probably board 2 in the second round of August nights, which I'm excited about. I'll get the white pieces. Should be a great opportunity. And also, when we're in our 20s, the only main difference between our 20s and 30s, I could do whatever I want to my body in my early to mid 20s. Literally. I'd show up the next day, basically the same athlete, the same dude, the same mental focus. Now I just need to rest a little bit. Caruana had a good interview where I think he's in like 34 now, 33, 34. And he said he could play video games till 5 a.m., just get a couple hours sleep, do his prep, and play top-level chess. Now he has to rest, but he doesn't feel like he's any less focused, less competitive. It's just that he can't neglect his health, to paraphrase, like most men could in their 20s, and probably women too. So I was playing bullet chess. I was up to 2231 again, and my peak is 2279 online. Had some time in between rounds. But don't do it, Dayton. Don't be a degenerate. But I am one. So I played a bunch of bullet chess, and then I tried to go play over the board, and I ended up down under 2100 again. Instead of getting 8 or 9 hours of sleep, I have PTO days for the Saturday tournament. I can't enjoy life if I'm not above 2100. To my credit, I did lay down for a few hours after getting it back over 2100. But I was 2231. And now I've wasted my whole night. If I would have slept, I could have made the outdoor games in downtown St. Louis for 2 rounds. I could have played 1 round of the Saturday rated games to really get locked in and in over the board mode. And then maybe 1 bye, so 4 rounds if I felt great still, 5 rounds of faster time control chess, which doesn't take as much out of you mentally. Not as much time to torture each other. But instead, I didn't sleep. I played bullet chess, showed up tired, and I just didn't have the energy and focus to sustain a whole day of over-the-board chess. Now, life as a man. So take what is said on social media with a grain of salt, of course. I hit on Alexander Botez. When I started my TikTok channel, I don't remember what song I sang. Hey, beautiful, 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 beautiful angel. I guess I was 25 at that time. And I was single again. We were trapped inside. So she's attractive. Did you hear the logic there? She developed a self-improvement plan. And without sacrificing confidence, held herself accountable to get better. I bet she could decide where she wants to eat for dinner, or at least go with my decision, or veto it and cook me something. Yes. But still, on social media, I am mostly joking. And before I talk about life as a man, and I don't mean to be mean, in fact, the chess women are here to save the world, and it's getting fucking nasty out there, ladies. Alexander Botez has an attractive sister. To make matters worse, Alexandra and Andrea look fairly similar due to the previous experience I won't get into because of personal details. And just the way most men are wired. You try to change this if you want. You can't rewire the universe. I would not marry or date seriously a woman who has a sister who's as hot as her and also close to my age. I would only have sex with her. I wouldn't lie or manipulate. That's just, you want men who don't waste your time. There you go. And Alexandra is 30. It's not about being 30. It's about, oh, she has a new boyfriend who she loves and she cooks for him, and not me hearing all the stories about her dating life. And now she's 30, which, again, no offense, will never be as physically attractive as she was in her early mid-20s. Not to say I wouldn't date a woman who's 40. So it's not about being over 30. It's that I didn't know her when she was younger than 30. And I hit on her, got no reply. Now, if I'd have met her after 30 and she didn't have a hot sister, I don't care what she did. We're all human. She seems like a nice person. I don't care if you want to be the CEO, as long as it doesn't make you always ruthless and always mean. And also the Hans Niemann, they seem to be friends with him, and her doing the anal beads jokes. And then Daniel Naroditsky later died. Like, you don't do that to a man. So I guess you could argue I'm somewhat conservative leaning, though I'm not religious. And a lot of my views, I think, are pretty out there, pretty different, pretty open-minded. So that's my stance, just before I tell jokes, or I like her content. I'm a big fan. But I wouldn't be into it as a serious relationship, which is what a woman like Alexander Botez is probably looking for. I can't go to dinner and have the thought of, like, who's prettier? I think it's a toss-up between the two. Ben Feingold did a funny video, who's hotter? Well, it depends if one's in Canada, one's in Miami. But they're pretty similar. Similar types of features, and also similar in how most men would rate their beauty. So if one didn't wear makeup or one wasn't trying, the other might be better looking that day, and I just couldn't do it at family dinners. So, but this is life as a man.
So you were in the Marines, and I was like, so what was that like? And then he tells me the story. He's like, Well, it was incredible until basically his wife left him because he came back with PTSD. And he's like, well, it really changed my life. And I asked, well, how did it change your life? He's like, well, the last battle we got into, it was 60 of us. And we went in and only 5 made it out alive. And the person who saved me when I got wounded actually ended up dying. And when I came back to get my medal, I went to thank his wife and she looked me in the eyes and said it should have been you.
Oh my god!
I don't think this dude was bullshitting.
No, he was 100% not bullshitting. This dude has had a heart.
Of Uber-driven many veterans, and probably more I just didn't know about because the conversation didn't steer that direction. I've heard stories like that. Not only the kind of survivor's guilt, if your friend died in war or saved your life, one of your peers loses purpose. There's a story in a book I read during COVID lockdown called Third Space, where a badass soldier came home, was basically a stay-at-home dad. Hey, I've been away. I'm going to be a dad. I'm going to be involved. I'm so excited to be back with my family. And he ended up re-enlisting, even though I'm sure he already had his benefits and already served as much time as he thought he would. I just need that. It's my purpose. So some extreme cases, PTSD not only makes them not feel well and act differently, but if a peer loses the fight, meaning suicide, there's another type of guilt. Men who have seen that type of conflict suffer. Go to your friend's funeral. I met one ex-military gentleman. I believe he went to 8 funerals. And that's not counting if some of his friends died in war. I don't know exactly what he did. It's 8 men who killed themselves. And he had 2 failed suicide attempts. And other than that, seemingly he was normal, or at least he thought. There were no genetic, mental factors. And prior to his time, he didn't seem to believe his family or friends viewed him as unique. Now, that look on Alexander Botez's face, I'm 31. I would get married. I need a few of those out of my wife, which is why I wouldn't mind to marry a woman slightly older than me. A nice, intelligent, confident woman who has had that face, holy shit, a few times. Daniel Naroditsky OD now, holy shit. I went through something when I was a girl, and the darkest mental state any of my friends have ever been in. I remember hearing that story, and she couldn't trust anybody. She didn't know. Oh. And she actually did some pills. But then she got help, and she talked to a friend. No, Daniel Naroditsky didn't want to be toxic. Soldiers, it is their pride to be tough. They work hard to develop mental toughness. And though my views on mental health advocacy have changed largely because of the way I was treated or felt I was treated while we were trapped inside, it's very different for men. And until a girl is older, unless she grew up really rough, and a lot of times women who grew up in rough parts of big cities are much kinder toward men and have much more empathy toward men than liberal women who never had to worry about money from a big city. And I'm not saying I grew up disadvantaged at all, but I'm, in a weird way, grateful to have been kind of kicked out of corporate America virtually, which is a different type of mental stress. It's not embraced change. We are not designed as human beings to just get from behind computer screens, and corporate doesn't care. But I'm glad I've met so many people who didn't have it easy growing up. And those women have given me hope. The Jennifer Shahadis of the world have taken my hope, and there are suicide notes referencing false accusations on the T app. Believe women, believe women, believe women. If Daniel Naroditsky would have wore a believe men shirt anywhere, I'm actually hurting. It's not a fucking joke. I'm not doing this for attention. he would have got laughed out of everywhere but Charlotte. And the only reason he wouldn't have got laughed out of Charlotte Chess Club for wearing a Believe Men shirt is he seems to have been friends with the founder. His name is Peter. You don't wear a Believe Men shirt. Enes Kanter, the former Oklahoma City Thunder, he's a 6'10" center, has decided he's trans. He's not trans. I haven't researched trans that much, so I don't want to speak on the topic. The short point is I don't care what you do, but I shouldn't be expected to march in your parade. And you shouldn't get priority over a veteran suffering from PTSD, is my opinion. But Enes Kanter, 6'10", NBA, he might have been an all-star once or twice. He's good. I decided I'm a woman. He's going to physically, permanently hurt somebody. And that's the world, in my eyes and a lot of men's eyes, the far left women are creating. Do you want Angel Reese to get elbowed in the head? Maybe that'll keep him off Caitlin Clark. Do you want Enes Kanter to dunk on Angel Reese with a knee to her throat on the way up? And Angel Reese is an amazing athlete. But is that what it's going to take to prove points? I sure hope not. But if you want that type of equality, and I think the chess women know, trans men should not, or trans women. See, I apologize. I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings. It was actually struggling. A biological man who decided to be a woman, or decided he already was a woman. I don't think they believe Enes Kanter should be playing in the WNBA, but you have to have that conversation now because we're talking about it as a broad topic. In business and everything Enes Kanter should play. But if women get equal rights in every way, which I'm cool with, Daniel Naroditsky should have been comfortable and should have felt safe wearing a Believe Men shirt to a chess tournament, and he never would. He would pop pills. He did. It happens every day to men. And last point on this rant, I hope, this is dark, women, especially intelligent women like those who play chess, don't just go even cry how sad, write an article about how kind Naroditsky was, or even write it off as some mental health issue. Go talk to a veteran like Alexander was discussing in that clip, who's recovered, hear about what war did to him, and consider what Daniel Naroditsky, the nice guy, I didn't know him, of course, I didn't play chess growing up, no one invited me, everyone seemed to like and respect, consider what he might have turned into in a few years had his heart not failed. Pills, stress, Kramnik wasn't going to stop. Mixing alcohol, maybe. What might Daniel have been like at 35? Could he have been Bobby Fischer? Could he have become violent? It's not comfortable. But a lot of times the repercussions of speaking as a man, when we're told it will be therapy or it will help us or others will care, even if they have good intentions, the way society is likely to react, it becomes our last straw instead of a helping hand. That's why you pop pills, if you care. And you don't just want to bash men and act like any man who doesn't want an open border or doesn't want Sharia law, prefers English be spoken at work so I can follow along and prove myself. You act like every man who isn't completely on board with everything women want, liberal women my age want, is toxic or wants to go back to the Stone Ages. And also, when women do hit their 30s, and a beautiful woman like Alexander Botez, you're going to freeze your fucking eggs? You can tell yourself whatever you want. You'll find out you haven't found the right man. you're chasing your career. I don't care. And I'm more intellectual, at least attracted to that type than almost any man you will find who is willing to get married and has his shit even remotely together. No crimes. I like that kind of intelligent, um, like weird, but it's not attractive. A man is going to go for a woman in her mid-20s who is not beating him at everything. Just the way it is. So consider what men go through. And if women don't become so believe women and children, if he's not good with women or one woman doesn't like him, you're bucketing us as bad with kids, which is not logical at all. If you don't want men to say what I just said in much more hateful ways, try to cancel men or even the manosphere, not let Andrew Tate talk. I think the T-app should be deleted if Andrew Tate can't talk. So you can settle for my version, which, believe it or not, that's kind of becoming the middle ground. Or you can freeze your eggs. That's my stance. Okay, I got my rating back over 2,200 after just a little bit of rest and the pressure of the tournament being over. I want to be in the 99th percentile, at least 99th percentile in all rapid. It's much easier. In blitz, I guess I'm not there yet. Or I'm not there again. I was at that level in blitz. And this is the type of stuff that in speed chess is kind of sort of acceptable, but it's going to get you beat in the long run. Oh, the shit, the knight's there. Oh, man. Ah. This is going to be bad. Oh, shit. Yeah. So that's our first game. I need to get this to about 22-20. Then hit the disc golf course with my dog. Ah. Wow. Can't take it. Okay. So I'm just a little slow at the moment. hell is this? Dude. Shit. Nope. All right, wake up. I'm gonna get this. That's 90.8 percentile. Was once I get in the zone a little bit, it won't be that difficult. I'm gonna talk about my tournament. I'll be on a disc golf course. It makes me happy. It just makes me say outrageous things. It stresses me in unhealthy ways. Where's it go? Uh-oh. No, no. Dumbass. Needed that. Don't need that. Clown. It's a clown show. It's a clown show, and you're the star of it. Clown. Ignorant clown. I think I missed a mate. Oh no. It's ugly though. It's ugly. Shit. Sketchy as hell. Yeah, man. Jeez. That's weak. Yes, I'm just playing lazy shit. So let's keep with the program. And if anyone who knows what they're doing in chess ever watches my stuff, which I'll get high enough rated to where people might be suspicious. Nothing else to watch for that. Really. God dang. Pretty fucking amazing. Pretty bad at chess. Ah, wasn't expecting that at all. Shit. Jackass. I own you. Just call me Master. Master D. Clown. Do you need a horn and a tricycle for your clown show? You'd be lost without it. Keep pushing it. That's not the right way. Can't. Well, I mean, you can. But... Eh. Take the horse. Okay, now let's go. That's all right. Watch my bishop come back to life later. It's not removed from the party until I say it's done. I'll still use him. Clown. Just a big old clown show is all. There's nothing to see here. Nothing impressive's happening. I mean, sometimes when I'm playing. Ah. Wow. But this is how you win speed chess games. I think I can fuse the Grandmaster in Residence. Not just one. There's a new one pretty frequently. Sometimes they repeat. Because I'll have a string of moves. They're like that's not bad for an athlete. Not even 1700. But you saw that well. Then I'll totally miss. I wouldn't say obvious stuff, but stuff I should see. And some of that's because I play speed chess online, and especially early in the game, like early middle game. How does he even figure that out? But he figured out that puzzle in the middle game. So because there are ways to win online chess battles without being any good at chess. That's why. Jeez. That pawn should go up immediately. Okay, that's fine too. Like these pawn moves, they're not any good against a decent player over the board. I'm talking like my level, which I think is just decent, nothing more. Move, bitch, get out the way. Ludicrous said it. I'm not being toxic. I'm not trying to be hateful. I'm not trying to make anyone play chess. Supporting Ludicrous. And these moves here, it's passive. Even in over the board chess, it's not wrong necessarily, but it's very passive. There are just ways to win online battles. And I figured them all out. What the fuck is this? What do you want, asshole? Yeah, I guess so. Ah, shit. Fuck off. Oh, shit. Fuck. I can just gallop right there. I'm just going to go ahead and gallop. Don't mind me. I'm galloping. I'm galloping. I'm galloping, but it's not a frolic. What the fuck? Jeez. I'll tell the horses like to go back here. Which I'm guessing. There's been a few times I've played better players. And their horses, if they redirect, they're almost always going here, not to the 7th or the 2nd. Common sense can kind of explain why, but I'm sure there's more reasons. It's not getting in the way of development primarily. All right, sure. It's your life. Live it how you want. You just know someone say you're a loser. Oh, shit. That's lucky as hell. No. You see, this would be tough to go in and out of serious competitive chess mode. And go from this back to playing pretty solid club players. It's a mess. I don't recommend it. Moves such as the one I made, they're just not very good. What? Really, no. Move. I should have saw that earlier. Take my advantage and shove it where the sun don't shine. So I'm very good at anticipating common mistakes, decent feel for the clock, and of course, when those different kinds of mistakes will have to be made, but I'm not that good at chess. And I worked on computers for most of my young adult life, even when I was, you could say, a kid. Probably more comfortable. What do you want, you asshole? I see a pawn. I'm just here to say hello. I just came to say hello. Oh, good move there. Oh, just enjoy the party. Really? I don't think so. Nah, surely not. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Thanks, man. Ah, good job by you. Fuck. What am I even doing? No. This sucks. No, it's a check. This is brutal. Ah. Oh, shit. Thank God for you, mate. It's out of time. I never draw my arrows in the right order. But oh well. Hmm? gonna try some sneaky shit, aren't you? Aren't you? Good luck. Black hole expert. What do you know? What do you know? I'm interested. I watch the cosmos. See, on YouTube, where you have to anticipate these weird moves that, again, just don't work against decent players in real chess. Good job. Oh, man. It's only move that survives temporarily, at least. It's not going to last long. With decent play. Taking a long run. I like that. Oh, man. Oh. Uh-oh. Whoops. No, we're good. We're going to try to survive a little bit longer. Survivor. Oh, no. See, these games really shouldn't count. I'm about the 99.8 percentile again. Huh? Oh, no, I wouldn't. My king is safe. And you're a dead man walking. You're dead and walking. And now you're a dead enemy. Out of your misery, at least. I'm an optimist glass half full type of guy. See, and the fact that long castles even comes to mind here is testament to just how bad bullet chess can be for our minds. Told you so. It's got to be played, I think. Still not in a fabulous position. Uh-oh. be smart about that. Ah. Yeah, good job. Okay. Yeah. Yep. You're a blessing. No chess, yes, girls. Ain't no holler back, girl. I don't know what your alias means. Probably end up on the called out page. Clown. You're an ugly damn clown. Unless you know you are. Some makeup, funny hat, start making animal balloons. I prefer an elephant. Okay. Yeah. I like to pin stuff. It's one of my favorite pastimes. And I thought you said no one invited you to chess club as a kid. Yeah, it makes for a better story. I just said no. Just kidding. Nobody. I didn't think Springfield had chess club. It's probably a good thing. Hello, hello. It should put me back in the 99.8 percentile. Yeah, lovely. I'm gonna end up 2,000 over the board. I could get my shit together. My homework sending me like Bobby Fischer minus about 1,000 Elo. No, one quarter. Move, out of move, out of move, out of move. Lay down, sleep. Get that ivory in the skinny pieces and check it out by the face out of my bed. Talking about me, talking about me, I don't see a shit. My God, if I kill any pain. Look what you done. Motherfucking stop playing. There's only one string out of tune. I get it if my whole guitar is out of tune, about the same, like a half step or so for each string. But when it's, why am I getting hearts? Play something. All right, Snappy, I'll play something. Just get the guitar for fun, shits and giggles. No, it's asking me to engage my audience. No, that's not how this works. I do one song twice per day on TikTok, and usually I end up playing it 3 times. I was about as good as I've ever been on piano during COVID lockdown. Piano is just my favorite instrument. It's not close. I play 4. I'm only really good on guitar and piano, where you can just show me anything and I can play it live immediately. But I'm functional on the alto sax and ukulele. I understand music. I really just want to make iconic riffs. Baker Street, Careless Whisper. That's why I taught myself the alto sax when we were trapped inside. I'm trying to put you in the worst mode. P1 cleaner than your church shoes. Really point to just to hurt you. A red lamb just to tease you. None of these toys I used to. Made you all year no week to. Main bitch out of your league to. Side bitch out of your league to. I saw it, they need a centerpiece. 20 racks of table cut from ebony. Cut that ivy in the skinny pieces that she cleaned up with her face. Yeah, love my baby. You're talking money, need a hearing aid. Talking about me, I don't see a shit. Switch up my style, take any lane. Switch up my cup, I can't even pay. Look what you've done. What I'm gonna start doing, first verse I'm gonna sing. I'm not gonna try to be The Weeknd. And then the second verse I'm gonna test my range a little bit. But this is my song of the day. Not because I'm a star boy, because I like to mix ghetto rap. This is a ghetto rap or sexual hardcore music with chess. I think it's hysterical because chess is known as an intellectual game. And when we think of chess players, no offense, I'm a fan. We don't think of LeBron James or Wemby, which is also why it's not great marketing. You think you're growing it to a new audience. Look, Wemby does it, man. Wemby is not mainstream. Wemby is a 0.001% superhuman athlete. That doesn't get like I spent it's all relative. I spent a lot of my corporate money on advertising because I figured when COVID lockdown was over, if I didn't have anything to show for this, I would just quit. Judge me. Well, how bad do you want it? Not that bad. Again, not a great marketing ploy by chess business. Not that bad. I had a college degree. I still have a college degree. I had no criminal record. I was in a serious relationship, built a new house. Corporate life was good. I didn't really know I could sing. I definitely think I have a good voice. And if I didn't make content work fairly quickly, I would just go back to a corporate job, maybe a much smaller company. So I didn't have a referral and stuff, but yeah, I wasn't built for this. I was in St. Louis anyway. Someone's anything really rubbed me the wrong way. I came to really like chess, and to get decent, I realized it wasn't as hard. Not to get really good at chess. I will never disrespect professional chess players, even if you don't like me or even if you want to ruin my life, quite honestly. Because you have a rating. I know what you are at work. I don't need friends. Got a dog for that. Unconditional love, yeah, that doesn't exist for men. So I just stuck with it, and I ended up liking dealing with the casino. Went from a backup plan to I will do that forever. In a world of censorship, music, I mean, I can express myself. Not say a word if I don't want. Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded a plane. Touchdown in the land of Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. Said, are you a Christian child? And I say, ma'am, I am tonight. Walking in Memphis. I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a bed. Walking in Memphis. But do you really feel the way I feel? They've got catfish on the table. They've got gospel in the air and Reverend Green. Be glad to see you. You haven't got a prayer. Oh boy, you got a prayer in Memphis. Now Murray plays piano. I can play music, and as I was saying, you can't do whatever you want anytime you don't run a business. And even then, you could risk customers. But a casino is the most unique exception to a lot of work rules. I don't want to cause anybody any problems, and they've been so nice to me. I mean, the future is this: we're gonna all have TikTok channels and shit. We will apply for jobs this way because make it sound like Shakespeare when we don't even know how to fucking spell. So we will all have social media. It would be more of a red flag to not have this. And one of the reasons I'm so out there, like a deep fake could ruin my life tomorrow. Here's what I actually think. That's actually me who said it. Okay, he's human. Does he have any criminal record? No. All right. Well, at least we know he's crazy. Keep an eye on him, I guess. Yeah, keep an eye on me. But the casino. Well, I'm not really built for structure, as you can see. But I'm not a hard ass. I'm not a hustler either. I'm not Jay-Z, talented or mindset wise, or tough enough. I didn't grow up in that environment. But I do like smart people who talk sparingly. And I also like, I won't even say diverse, so that's the word that comes to mind. It's not what I mean. I don't mean like DEI. I don't mind DEI. But as far as like learning about people, I mean diversity of what they do with their lives. Two people come from the same background, maybe minorities, maybe have been forced to overcome adversity from a young age. But if they both did the same thing, work-wise, family-wise, I don't really want to hear it. I want everyone to be happy. I don't want anyone to hurt. But the casino, you're guaranteed there's going to be smart people. It's probably the only place I can think of. You know everyone's pretty on the ball, pretty sharp. There are different types of smart, but IQ smart most likely. Good memory, math skills, maybe a combination. And therefore, talent doesn't matter. If you're smart, it's easier to remember stories. You're more likely to develop confidence, whether it be passing a class, learning to deal a game at the casino, seeing someone speak. Hey, I remember what he said. Getting feedback. Okay, I took the feedback and I can apply it. I mean, being smart does matter. But a lot of people who work at the casino and who probably play either didn't want to go to college or weren't fortunate to have the opportunity like I was. So I get to meet and work with all kinds of smart people. But not the college smart, not the straight white male from a pretty good family smart that I grew up being friends with. And I like those people, but I like different people who I know are smart. So if you go to a store or a bar or a concert, any social setting one can think of, even get into hobbies, chess. Chess is not my social vibe. I would not want to make friends with chess players, put it that way. Because good ones pretty much share the same story. My dad handed me a chessboard. Then I learned how to play chess. If you're really good, you had to learn early. So, but a casino, people who want to socialize at the casino, it's probably a reason. They don't like loud music at a bar or at a concert. They're too smart, in my opinion. But they're not introverts. They're not, like incels. They're social, but they're smart. It could be a doctor, could be an engineer, could be a poker player, could be a coach traveling for a recruiting visit. But unless they tell me what they do as a dealer or a player, I would have no way to know. And I love that. I couldn't really guess take individuals who I've met over the years. I grew up in Southwest Missouri, so I met at Downstreams, had a conversation at a blackjack table with. Take them anywhere else, and if I talk to them for an hour, but they don't tell me what they do, I'm going to be able to kind of peg them. This is, probably the type of field you're in. Get a gauge of your personality. But at the casino, a doctor, engineer, athlete, all I know is they're all smart, because some of those games are kind of complicated to learn. And if they're counting the games especially, they're just different. So because of the atmosphere also, if I met a teacher or something outside of a casino, playing or dealing, you can't say whatever you want. But if I mess up, I say something or it's taken out of context, I can explain, it's adult entertainment. It's adult entertainment. I'm supposed to be funny. I'm supposed to have a good time. So I basically wrote off going back to a corporate job. If I say something like it is still a business, no hard feelings. Thank you for teaching me the games and investing in me. I'll go elsewhere and I'll come play at my old casinos. I want them to do well. And many of my dealers or my coworkers I deal with have families. So I don't have kids to feed. So I don't really want coming to my living room, or if I do have kids one day, forcing them to be Muslim as is being thrown around in New Yorkistan. But I do believe racism exists, and if a business ever feels like I'm a problem or a brand risk, then they have to do what's best for their families. I get that. So I would just come back and play. But with all the censorship and everyone being so opinionated, a casino is one of the rare jobs where it pays well. People are cool, and they're all always unique. They all have a different story. And I like that some are from other countries. But you can still kind of say what you want. You don't have to worry about getting fired because you piss someone off. You at least get a chance to explain yourself, and the people are all reasonable. So I'll play chess, and I'll always work whether my content makes a living or not. I wouldn't want to be friends with the chess people. I respect them, and I want grandmasters to do well, and I want American chess to do well. It seems like a lot of backstabbing. Seems like a lot of inability to see men's perspective. Just ask Dan and Narodisky's family about that. Too worried about catering to those you think are hurting your rhino. And I would rather just deal and express myself with music, play chess because I like it, cause no problems. One more thing, then I'll sing my songs. Grew up going to church, Baptist. Not religious at all. It's not a debate. It's not, kind of, sort of. I'm just not. Talk about it either. I'm not mad at anybody. Went through that phase. But there are many stories in the Bible. Pretty much everyone Jesus used had some unique skill set or talent. And oftentimes it pissed off the proper church goers. Why would you want someone like Saul? Because this shit matters. And you're too busy with your hands up singing hallelujah on Sundays to do anything important. So shut the fuck up. Jesus used people who said fuck. Jesus used men like Trump, who on reality TV show, Donald, did you really need to say that? Trump had a lot of characteristics that if we're just looking at the Bible, and again, I'm not religious, but what would Jesus want based on the Bible and what we know of Jesus Christ, which of course was a man who lived and might have been God. He had a lot of things Trump has a lot of things Jesus would have wanted. Can't be controlled. Doesn't care. Doesn't want to go to jail, but he's going to risk it because he wants to win. He wants America to do well. Reality TV, so social media following, which matters now. It can sway elections. Having a base to compete with a whole party that has corporations backing it. if you have an existing social media following and a really charismatic personality, even George Clooney admits, hey, I don't like Trump. I can't believe he's president. But anytime you get to questioning Trump's charisma and a sense of humor, George Clooney will almost defend him. It's weird because he's an actor, so he's seen good auditions and bad auditions. When Clooney was real young, maybe he's auditioned a few times or been nervous before he figured it out. So it's like he can bash Trump and hate Trump, and Clooney does not like Trump. One mentions Trump as an actor or some type of media presence. Clooney is like his friend because he respects good actors. No, it's not that he's not charismatic. It's not. I'm not saying that. So he had a lot of traits if we're looking at from the conservative religious lens, which the Democrats will have to get some of them to vote or they won't win elections. But Trump has a lot of similarities to suspicious characters. Jesus said, that's my guy. And in the Bible, it's you rip things away, you torture people, and then you use them for something. And I'm not going to be used for anything. But I got into chess during that type of time where, like, how much shit can go wrong? What did I do? You give a corporation an excuse, COVID lockdown, hey, it's a misunderstanding, and they know what they did. And they know what they had done in terms of letting H-1B visa abuse get that bad. They're going to make me talk. They're going to go to my family. They're going to stress me. Then try to play the middle ground if I fight back and somehow win in court. They never dreamed I'd do this. They had to deal with me forever. Hey, Jesus. But I had a brand new home right when COVID lockdown happened. It was by Topgolf. By Duluth's, which Duluth's is a big brand everywhere. It's I could walk to a Duluth's. Most comfortable underwear. I thought my uncle was full of shit. I will never wear anything else. Academy Sports, not too far away. The spot I lived in Rogers, Arkansas, where I'm at in the St. Louis, Missouri suburbs, it's got all that stuff, all the restaurants. It's similar in so many ways. I won't even get into it. Walmart Amphitheater, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. It's weird how I accidentally ended up here. After it all ripped away, and now my life's actually going kind of okay. So I would not want to mess it up with the chess drama with some of those women who just want to make sure men understand it's women's time. Hey, you go have it, but don't ask me to help grow your game. And when the next girl can't get a scholarship because you're not inclusive and you want to do to me what one man did to you 20 years ago, you just go play with yourselves. And I'll be at the club. I'll cause no problems. If you ask me to delete a post, I would prefer a grandmaster ask me and explain why. I'll explain my perspective. And the grandmaster overrides both of us. No problem. But please don't take away chess from me because I won't turn on it. Life's going kind of good. I would cause a lot of drama, which is usually how you grow an industry. Someone different or a different group of people. And I don't need any extra drama because I got enough of it in my blood. All right. I'm trying to put you in the worst mood. Be one cleaner than your church shoes. Nearly point two just to hurt you. All red lamb just to tease you. None of these toys are at least two. Oh, year and a week too, yeah. Main bitch out of your league too. Side bitch out of your league too. I call these musical rants. I started doing it during COVID lockdown. I could play music. Did a few things live. One with my family, one with a friend. I call them musical rants. I talk between the verses. I was just coping with life, having a good time. Singing a popular song. Oh, this is what's going on. This is a funny COVID joke. To go in between the verses, I just got really good at mixing it in and kind of talk singing. Main bitch out of your league too. Side bitch out of your league too. What you're going to get is The Weeknd. And unfortunately, not everyone can sing like, few people can sing like that. And I think he's handsome. But young men will all want to be The Weeknd. If you bash us, in the case of chess, you have to believe women can. I don't know. I haven't really researched it. I think Hans Niemann got a lot of opportunities taken away. And he's about to crack the top 10. I don't know, and I don't care. AOC is freezing her eggs. If that's who you want as your role model, she seems nice. But don't buy the story. Men will just wait, and when they're 40 or when you're 40, you will be as valuable to them as when you were 29. Don't do that. Don't tell girls to do what you did. And be surprised when many of those girls grow up, aren't moms, can't find a guy to marry them, even though they're beautiful. Because what you'll get is the weekend. All right, cool. It would hurt me to not have kids. It would hurt me to not get married, I think. I'll be all right. In the long run, it's going to kill women. So listen to these lyrics. And you can't hurt the weekend. He's too rich. Do whatever he wants in a music video. And deep down, most girls like it. So you take it out on the men who are struggling, who aren't tall, can't dunk a basketball, can't make a living playing sports, are going to be 9 to 5 workers no one notices or cares about if they disappear. And you punish them for the weekend's lyrics. We're talking about women like objects to be tossed around in the bedroom. Until every man says, all right, I'll be at a weekend concert. I won't be at the chapel. Putting a ring on your finger.
I saw empty need a centerpiece. 20 racks of table cut from ebony. Cut that ivory into skinny pieces. Then she clean up with her face, man, I love my baby. You're talking money, need a hearing aid. Talking about me, I don't see the shade. Switch up my style, take any lane. Switch up my cup, I kill any pain. Every day I try to test me. Pull up in the roaster, SV. Pockets overweight, getting hefty. Coming for the king, that's a fuck cry. I come alive in the fall time. No competition, I don't really listen. I'm in the blue moon song, but a new edition. I saw if they need a centerpiece. 20 racks of table cut from ebony. Cut that ivory into skinny pieces. Then she clean up with her face, yeah, I love my baby. Talking money, need a hearing aid. Talking about me, I don't see a shade. Switch up my style, I take any lane. Switch up my cup, I kill any pain. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Look what you've done. I'm a motherfucking letter. Brad Pitt, legend of the fall. Took the year like a bandit. Mama a crib and a brand new wagon. Now she at the grocery shop looking lavish. Roof in the Wraith of Khan. Oh shit. Star Trek roof in the Wraith of Khan. Girls get loose when they hear the song. 100 on the dash, keep me close to God. We don't pray for love, we just pray for cause.
That's what the feminism movement did, ladies, overall.
I saw if they need a centerpiece. 20 racks of table cut from ebony. She cut that ivory into skinny pieces. And then she cleaned it with her face, man, I love my baby. Talking money, need a hearing aid. Talking about me, I don't see the shade. Switch up my style, I take any lane. Switch up my cup, I kill any pain. Look what you've done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Look what you've done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Look what you've done. I'm a motherfucking star boy.
That's what you'll do. Bash men accused without evidence. Many will fail. Luck matters. I watched a Post Malone interview. And more talented people than me who didn't make it, which he's very good. Well, what do you mean, Post? I guess I got lucky. Yeah, but everyone's going to try. And you don't want a world where men don't feel like we have any value being a plumber or even a corporate worker. Okay. Keep singing. I'll look at my recent over the board games and call it a day. Okay. Pretty song here. There is something to really good musicians and probably artists in general, including chess players. There's something about them being just fucked up, depressed, that leads to beautiful, beautiful work. Part of it is they're willing to sit alone and figure things out. But some of it is probably the brain itself. Because Linkin Park, Chester Bennington, one of the most amazing voices and I think he wrote most of his songs, or at least had a hand in writing most Linkin Park songs. Man, it's amazing what he comes up with. But a happy person can never do that, and unfortunately, he's no longer with us. So never know what someone's going through. No need to bash people on the T app. We need to call men out. If they're guilty, follow a lawsuit.
I remember black skies, the lightning all around me. I remembered each flash as time began to blur, like a startling sign that fate had finally found me. And your voice was all I heard, that I get what I deserve. So give me reason to prove me wrong, to wash this memory clean. Let the floods cross the distance in your eyes. Whole, connect the space between. Let it be enough to reach the truth that lies across this new divide. There was nothing in sight but memories left abandoned. There was nowhere to hide, the ashes fell like snow, and the ground caved in between where we were standing. And your voice was all I heard, what I deserve. So give me reason, prove me wrong, to wash this memory clean. Let the floods cross the distance in your eyes across this new divide. In every loss, in every lie, in every truth that you denied, and each regret and each goodbye was a mistake too great to hide. And your voice was all I heard, that I get what I deserve. So give me reason to prove me wrong, and watch this memory cling. Let the floods cross the distance in your eyes. Give me reason to fill this hole, connect the space between. Let it be enough to reach the truth that lies across this new divide.
Beautiful song. I think we'll play some piano.
I put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded a plane. Touchdown in the land of Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. WC Handy, won't you look down on me?
So I got these books printed. Or that's actually a book from the store, but I got some songs I wanted. I got some songs I wanted paper, and I got some books spiral. So I'm working through them.
And I remember each flash. The sun began to light. I'm trying to picture in the worst mood. People are clean up in your church shoes.
You should go to church after you have premarital sex and do drugs with the weekend. Okay. And sharp diminished 7. Yeah, sounds right. Dim 7 notes. Okay. How on earth is E flat? I don't understand E flat. So diminished 5th C, double. Diminished 7th is a double flat 7th. Why is it double flat though? It's a major 6th. Is that what it is? I don't know. Okay. Sure. Sure. Diminished 7th. I don't know. How am I supposed to know it's a double flat? It doesn't signal that at all. So. Diminished is neither minor or major, so I can't really be trying to pull the 7th of either scale, but okay.
Down the lane till the blood pouring in rain.
That'll work.
Put on my blue, put on my blue suede shoes and the boarding plan and the boarding plan. Touchdown in the land of dirty blue, in the middle of pouring rain. WC Andy, won't you look down on me? Yeah, I got a first class ticket, but I'm as blue as a boy can be. When I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off me. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel?
She looked really good. That's where I go up and down 2 octaves without looking at pretty much never missed during COVID. Probably useless skill. If you got a feel, like a lot of times, especially now that I'm rusty, I'm in between white keys, but I try not to feel for the black keys. Anyone who's played some piano can find C sharp, and then the key is just to differentiate between the C sharp black key and the F sharp, because that's the start of the new set of keys, and you could feel one. It's C sharp or F sharp, and then just go to the right, and if there's only one more black key before a space, of course that's C sharp. I don't know, it might help. With the left hand especially. Then you can glance at the music more. I did it because I was bored driving side in. Plus, I made better eye contact while I stream anyway. I got mad when I wasn't finding the key.
Southern a pretty little thing, waiting for the king down in the jungle room. Then I'm walking in Memphis, walking in Memphis. I'm walking with my feet 10 feet off the bed, walking in Memphis. But do I really feel the way I feel? They've got catfish on the table. They've got gospel in the air and Reverend Green. Ooh, would be glad to see you when you haven't got a prayer. Boy, you got a prayer in Memphis. Now Muriel plays piano every Friday at the Hollywood, and they brought me down to see her, and they asked me if I could do a little number, and I sang with all my might. She said, tell me, are you a Christian child? And I said, I'm Muslim. Because I came to my living room and told me I had to. Ma'am, I am tonight. Then I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off a bed, walking in Memphis. Do I really feel the way I feel? Okay, I'm gonna leave this set up so I can record for TikTok. Let's talk about real chess for a second. It's raining in my head. Another storm, another day. Little pills will change my mind. These little pills will change my mind, but it don't make it go away. It's raining, soft, 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 soft. Oh, oh, oh. Let's find a way to run away from life full of pain and strife. Tells me I'm hellbound. IRS is on my ass for a check that I didn't cash, and the levies from child support. Feel like I fell down. Probably not. Yeah, it's already drop D. I don't like drop D. Do, 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 do. Yeah, it'll work. And tell me that we belong together. And I'll be your crying shoulder, and I'll be love suicide. I'll be captivated. I'll hang from your lips instead of the gallows of heartache that hang from above. Something about your love I can't quite figure out. Everything she does is beautiful. Everything she does. Yes. Well, I've dropped out, burned up, fought my way back from the dead. Tuned in, turned on. Remember the thing that you said.
Trying not to stream chess because you can see I kind of fade in and out in terms of energy and focus. But when I walk outside, and especially when I take a few day break from online chess, I'm coherent. If I'm talking, I can listen. I can live with my subject. I don't get distracted. So, but I'll wake up every morning and I'll just, whatever songs come to mind, I'll get the chords out and then I'll figure out what song I want to play for real, and I'll record a video for about an hour. And that kind of wakes me up. I feel healthy, happy. I just chose to stream chess first today. Okay, I'm not going to go through my games. I'm going to play 20 of them, but I have reviewed them all myself. I think I'm going to write them off as learning because I did get something out of them. And for about 2/3 of them, I was rested and fighting. But I will likely just continue August and from Wednesday, which will be the 12th. So August 12th through August 31st. I will count that as my August chess. So I'll have a new sticky note and I'll do my monthly over the board recap based on the second half of this month. Find something you like or a project you're, I'd say passionate, but you think matters. And if it matters, and you can say why it matters, of course we could all be wrong. We can anticipate it correctly. But there'll probably become ways to make at least a living off of it. And if you get lucky, maybe a lot more. So I still haven't rated the big tournament. But I'm down a little. And they haven't rated my Saturday tournament, so I won't go on US Chess. I'll just show. Okay, I've inputted all my games here. So 62 collections. And maybe I've combined a few tournaments. So in those folders are pretty much all my over the board rated games since I've learned. So since 2022 when I started playing competitively. I drove to Illinois Thursday, played 3 rounds. Friday I won my quad, which is quad 4. But there was a big difference in quad 4 and quad 3, which is usually the case. That's kind of an obvious cutoff. So, like quad 3, yeah, maybe I actually belong there. Yeah. Huh. So I was 1649. Or that you were 1649, but it was looking at my quick rating. So I was 1621, so I barely missed the cut for quad 3. Otherwise, I mean, you never know. Like I could perform with any of them, but I probably not winning there. Probably not. And then quad 2 is a different world of player. So I played 3, and if I would have just went to bed after, I would have given myself a much better chance of Saturday. But instead, I wouldn't say I was tired. But I had a weird combination of good and bad luck, and let me explain what I mean. So my round 1 game, I'm not even going to look at the game. These are shorter time controls, so unless you really were able to take the time and understand what I'm seeing, what me and the opponent are kind of trying to do, and the clock, these moves would not make sense to you if you know how to play chess. But this opponent is unrated at the moment. I won, and I'm going to beat him most of the time right now. But it's chess.com is 2100. So I'll be interested to see how he fared in the event, because I saw him kind of toward the middle boards at least once. So that means he probably won a game or two. So tough draw, actually. I had the black pieces against an athlete. Yeah, he's unrated, but if I lose, it's going to kill my tournament and my rating. And it turns out he's 2100 on chess.com, so not a bad player at all. And in these faster time controls, tactics do matter more. So I don't have time to really play strategically and use some of what I've learned from playing what I call real chess at the club. He was a very tough draw, and I got the black pieces against him in round 1. Still, I won. So that's a little bit of bad luck, you could argue. Unrated player that's actually fairly strong. And I got the black pieces in a faster time control. Now, round 2. Again, you got to understand the clock is a variable here. And he took a long time to figure out this opening. I'm trying to be kind of weird, but sometimes I can get way too weird. And believe it or not, this ended in a draw because he got the one time. But now that I've played some better players, I've got to get to where I don't try to use the clock as a weapon. If they've thought about it, you don't want to assume an athlete is better or play afraid. But if they're using clock and they're this much higher rated, which he's 1894, it's probably for a reason. He probably knows it's either going to be a simple end game, or if he makes the right decision, he's going to have such an advantage, clock won't matter. But he just used a little bit too much clock. And kind of playing the way you saw me flagging online in bullet chess, it kind of worked, and I got a draw. I got a cheap draw where he had bad pawns, opposite colored bishops, and we drew. So I'm on cloud 9 right now. I figured my bad luck, which was getting a first round with the black pieces against an athlete who's unrated, but actually pretty strong. So I survived that, and I didn't really have to try. It wasn't like I got lucky or grinded it out. Mistakes on both sides. Okay, so now I kind of got my blood flowing. I'm alert, and then I played as well as I needed to. I got a draw, caught my breaks. So round 3, I'm going in thinking, great, I'm going to have a chance to maybe draw an 1800, at worst a 1900. Well, it turns out the international master, and by rating the strongest in the tournament, he goes by Steve. And I worked with people mostly from India. And Steve is not, I'm assuming he's Chinese. But a lot of times they just give themselves an American name. And I say some outrageous things without knowing me. You could assume the words are taken out of context. But I would like to call him by his name. He's an arbiter for the St. Louis Chess Club too. So I don't want to be too friendly, freak anyone out. I learned that the hard way. After my friend took his life, I always tried to be really nice to people, even at work, if it was appropriate and not in a meeting. Hey, how's it going? How's the family doing? But that's apparently not the way business works anymore. I might say Dan Ernest's life, but it's another topic. So I like the guy. He seems nice, but he's just going to beat the hell out of me. So I was very deflated when I saw that pairing. If it were a more social environment, or even not a serious tournament where you got a lot of turnout, just a regular rated games, I would have went up to the other arbiter who was working and not playing. I said, Ralph, dude, what is this bullshit? You know I'm having a historic day, right? I'm 1.5 out of 2. Guy was 1900. I should get the black pieces against a player just like a tier above me. And you gave me an international master. This is horseshit. And I'm fighting my online addiction, so I was playing bullet between rounds. And I showed up. I kind of tried for a little bit, but I was pissed. I admit I let my emotions get the better of me. I had a bad attitude. I'm not going to beat an international. I'm not even going to stay in the game. He'll be a grandmaster. I think he's a little younger than me, so he's not young for chess, but he'll get there. He seems super fucking smart and determined. And I don't know. From what I've seen, doesn't look too nervous. Of course, he's playing me. So. But I was like, just take the game. You're going to kill me no matter what. So I was making moves and I was trying, but in my head, I admit there was some bad self-talk. Why do I have to get the international master when I'm 1.5 out of 2 at a pretty significant event? If I could survive with another draw, I'll have the white pieces in round 4, and then I could take my chances. And after round 4, let's say I found a way to draw round 3. I didn't get the international master. So then I'd be 2 out of 3. I win with the white pieces somehow. I'm 3 of 4. And then I get wrecked. But not in round 3. I shouldn't be getting wrecked by an international master. That's just absolutely terrible luck. But to my credit, after getting wrecked by the international master, it was an honor, Steve. I got my mind right. And I played well enough in round 4. Like his name. And I wonder if, and that's where I do feel for people who are not American, either weren't born here or just have names that are not American. Anything that might make them feel out of place. I mean, I don't think the solution is to make straight white men feel out of place or have Kamal act like I'm a criminal or Tim Waltz. Well, white men commit most of the crime. What the fuck did I do to you, bro? All I did was cry in a hotel room and not mess up my future. I certainly wouldn't drive drunk or risk anyone else's lives. What the fuck did I do to you, Tim? Still, I don't want anyone who's not white or a minority to feel unwelcome. And shit, it's not rated, so I don't have any way to get him. Did he play in that one? But I'd like to ask him how to pronounce his name. But sometimes they've had it mispronounced so many times. They just give up on Americans. And I'd say a lot would think I'm not being genuine or I'm being too nice again. So I'm not worried about it. What was his last name? I don't know, because he says his name's Steve. We both know your name's not Steve, bro. Where's he from? What state? Carolina. Okay. Why is he in St. Louis? Okay, but he just beat the hell out of me, as he should, as he will every time. Might end up being a grandmaster. Depending on his goals, I don't know. So yeah, I don't need to be playing him. That's about it. He's higher now. He actually drew Eric Rosen. That's about the highest rated player I ever need to sit across the board against, and not because I'm going to win or draw, because I might be able to hang in there with the white pieces and get a little bit better, learn something. But anything above Matthew, and I think Matthew's probably going to end up, maybe I'm wrong, maybe he's like 2,100 now. But ideally like high 1800s, because I could every now and then win. But no better than 2,000. Get above 2,100, there's just no prayer. Really, if they're 400 points higher, supposedly they should always win or draw, even if they play their worst game and I play my best. That's what I've heard. So I don't need to be playing 2,400. That's just stupid. I collected my thoughts, even though I was mad, and I won round 4. Now, round 4 was also against a gentleman. He's from Kentucky. He had a few games in U.S. chess, but he's pitching for Lindenwood, so he's new to Missouri. And I also didn't know what to expect. He played a very good game, and he made me earn it with the white pieces. Still, going into the last round, I was 2.5 out of 4. And my 5th round game just kick myself. Kick myself and kick myself. He was 14, 17. A lot is going to happen. I'm not going to discuss. But you got to get confident. Or even if you're not confident, you just got to do it. Grind out the end game. To grind out the end game. And too much bullet chest. Like you saw, it's not an attitude thing. You couldn't tell if I'm aggressive, if I've got that dog in me, or if I'm a little pussy. Lean toward the side of I'm a little pussy. And I don't really know what I'm doing. So, but in bullet chess, I strongly believe any mental pursuit, we can correct bad habits by just self-talk or writing down on a piece of paper, then ripping it up before we play. Hey, king safety has been an issue. Don't do that. Whereas baseball or physical movements, we develop a bad habit. Our body's actually conditioned to do something. But in chess, our mind has been conditioned, even if it's a terrible habit. And it takes a lot of focus and is annoying. Through self-talk, through little weird routines, or there was a story of a quarterback, I think it was in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Might have been his son. I can't remember. But he would snap a rubber band on his wrist anytime he made a bad play. Peyton Manning messes up. Peyton Manning throws interceptions. Stop. Clear it. And he didn't, that's not fixing anything with his throwing motion or his running or driving his arms if he's got some open field, but he's just telling his mind. He's fixing his mind, because any human, if we want to do well, hey, that's in my head. I messed up. I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to do that. What if I do it again? Snap. And in chess, I view it that way. Snapping a rubber band, something physical to clear your mind, even if for one move at a time, fix a bad habit, it still works. Whereas an actual flaw in mechanics or a physical movement that is not technically proper, it's a lot harder to correct. When I'm tired, my clock management, not even my vision, sometimes my confidence to pull the trigger on a move I know is right is a little bit slower. But I see everything pretty well even when I'm tired. But my clock management is questionable. It's the first thing to go, and my willingness to just grind out an end game. I know better. He's also got like 3 minutes to my 12, which makes this even more painful. And I declined the bishop trade because my thought is, it's just a tired, stupid thought. Okay, if he's running low on clock and I simplify, knight, etc., and I'm just up 2 pawns, can he use this pawn to stop my advancement? And of course, because my pawns are doubled here, like how? But I don't need to be figuring out how. Even grandmasters don't know exactly how this is going to shake out. There's too much that can happen. I have to be confident and play it out up 2 pawns. Let him simplify. If you want to try to draw, go ahead. I've got to be better. I know I can win up 2 pawns, even 1 pawn maybe. But I didn't want to allow the trade, so I have more material. Don't let it get simple. Disadvantage. I'm still recording the engine, as I knew I would be. And I didn't just blow my lead and draw, I lost. Why on earth? And again, just bad self-talk, being tired. And now I'm going, that's on my list of rules. It's actually, I made a list of rules because everyone's brain is different. But for me, about 2 weeks, if I don't play over the board chess for 2 weeks or play piano for 2 weeks, anything that is pretty hard mentally, I'm going to take a step back. And when I return, I'm not going to be where I was. Now, like 1 week, I can even be better. A little rest, 1 week and 6 days, something about 2 weeks for me. It's not good. When I come back, it's a learning curve again. But I took two major breaks since I've been, a Class B player, close to it. one to start at my new casino, which was in March of 2025. And I took a pretty long break. I was 1550 or 1555, maybe 1555. And I took a break to get acclimated. I was working nights, so I wasn't sleeping a lot. Came back thinking it'd be great. Now I'm going to go again. I went back down to like 1440 because I've been playing online, and I think I was playing decent online. I was getting my rating up. That might have been when I got to 2200 for the first time. I don't remember. And so I just thought I'd come back to over the board and it would progress like online does, and I'd be rested. Nope, things were different. I didn't feel good. I made mistakes, but after the game, and after I finally corrected it, after like 7 losses out of 8 games, something just absurd, I went on a tear after that because I figured it out again. I got back to feeling good. I got back to managing my clock well, my routines, and I shot up to about 1624, I think. I think that's when I took another break for craps class. But during my first break to get acclimated to the casino again, I had a list of things. Like, hey, of course, if we take a break that's too long, we're going to be rusty. But what can I do to minimize that setback? Like I said, the rubber band, physical gestures. We should correct the bad habit, but that might take some time. So in the interim, Band-Aid it. And I had a list. On that list were mistakes I made, where I lost to a lower rated, where, man, if you wouldn't have taken that break, you know that, you would have saw that immediately. And I had a list. One of the most important, if not the most important, was if I'm playing a lower rated and I have a night pinned, don't retreat just to leave material on the board and give you the opportunity to complicate things later. If you leave material on the board, of course, the better player, which if I'm playing a lower rated, of course, I'm confident I'm going to win. But if I give them such a positional advantage, it doesn't matter that I left material on the board. I won't be able to complicate it because I'll be cramped. I'll lose space. I might even not get to castle. And I lost such a humiliating game to, I think he was like 1200 after my first break. And it happened like that. I'm not gonna use the pin. I'm not gonna take the horse. And the horse just camped out right in the middle of my base. It just fucking stampeded all over my throat. So don't do that again. That wasn't a chess game. That wasn't a full game where you were better than me because I'm rusty. I did something that can be corrected with the snap of a rubber band. In my head, I could say, the horse is pinned. Make sure if you don't take it, it's not going to lead you to a worse position. Snap. Okay, I'm tempted. I want to leave material on the board. I'm higher rated. Let's fight. Nope, don't. There's a horse there. Why are you wearing a rubber Band-Aid? And I got tired, and the same concept happened. I avoided a trade just to leave material on the board because I'm tired. I've been playing online. I played way too much chess. And I got in my own head. So the loss doesn't bother me, even against that level of player, which will be much higher rated after this tournament. I think this was like board 10 or something. So it's not a bad board for a tournament with over 30 people. But damn. And not only after I didn't follow my principles, which is just trade. Don't decline trades, just leave material on the board. Then I was talking to myself badly. Why'd you do that? Rewind. No. This is your rule, Dayton. You don't have to think, don't have to calculate, no nothing. That's the rule. When you're tired, don't even, just trade it and then grind out the end game. What do you want, the one pawn? I mean, that now there's no 2 pawns you have to worry about. And I just got frantic, messed it all up. But you live and you learn. I got to play chess over the weekend. Some people are homeless. Some are forced to promote in the corporate world in order to feed their kids. I got to play chess. And also what I was seeing, again, just overthinking, is if I decline, I'm going to have this. But who cares? Because you have a target, and either way my knight wants to capture after this fork from d3, I don't have a target. So the other rook's just going to take it. I don't have any targets. Nothing. Devastating. Devastating. But I'm nowhere close to quitting. I am going to try again to avoid online chess. It's doing a good job. I log in once to break down my over-the-board games, update how tournament's going. Let's play some Bullet. I don't want to log in and stream just for a 10-minute update. No, that won't happen. So I don't play one game. Because one game turns into me not sleeping for 2 days. That's all I can do. But I will not quit until at least 1,800, and I know I can get 2,000 over the board. 1,800, just not doing some of the stuff I mentioned. Not playing online Bullet when I should sleep before tournament. Not panicking and deviating from my principles, like don't avoid trades just to leave material on board against the lower rated player. And I shouldn't be playing 20 rated games over a week stretch. But we'll get it figured out. Play the shelf, challengemanchess.com daily or unrated if you just can't wait that long.